to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
So Snoop Dogg has come out and basically said he has no problem with Marshall Mathers.
Okay.
With Eminem. After all the speculation of their beef, Snoop Dogg says he has no issue with Eminem. After their little spat, Eminem took a shot at him on the record Zeus, and Snoop was like, hey, bro, I ain't got no problem. So I guess we can move on from that. But it doesn't seem clean, right? It's one of those unresolved.
There was a problem. There was a problem.
Like we cool, but we not all the way cool.
Yeah, there was a problem because Snoop talked ish first. M responds on a record, says, I don't know why Snoop came for me. There has to be something. What's the origin? But, listen, Dr. Dre's been in the hospital. Maybe that brought them back together. They're his chief proteges. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It would have to, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't like it.
Speaking of Dre, who continues to be in the ICU, yes? And they're still running tests, they say?
That's what they said. They said he's still in there.
Things don't get better for Dre because now his wife, who they're going through a divorce with, his estranged wife, says he held a gun to her head, according to court documents. But this was back in 2000 and 2001. She also said he punched her in the face twice on two separate occasions.
Oh, God.
She described one instance which he allegedly kicked down the door to a room she had been hiding from his rage in 2016. She also accused him of verbal and emotional abuse. And she said, quote, he decimated my personhood to the extent I currently suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome.
We may be forced to finally reckon with the full Dr. Dre story. Because these stories been out there for a long time. And I realized, as we were just talking about off the air, I definitely ignored it. I definitely didn't give it its... Because then Ebro and I were reminiscing on the D. Barnes.
Yeah, all the way back to the D. Barnes incident.
I think he knocked her down the stairs. And Shawnee, that he used to beat Michell'e, they said, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she came out and had several interviews of how she was afraid of him for years. He tried to kill her, hands on the neck, gun to the head, all types of stuff. So
this is according to Complex.com. Previously, Dre stated that he had not abused or threatened Young's physical safety, but she has since said he is lying.
Well, let's wait and see, but I know it's hard for us sometimes to process the people we admire most doing horrifying things, but also we have to be honest here. If Dr. Dre didn't make some of the biggest hits like this beat right here, if we didn't have that affinity for his music, wouldn't we probably be like, damn, there's a lot of smoke here. Mm-hmm. Been a lot of smoke.
There is a lot of smoke there, but it also makes it equally difficult when this is coming out now that you want money.
Yep.
Right? It's coming out now that, you guys are getting a divorce.
But think about it like this, Ebro. Sometimes that's why people get the divorce.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So they finally say they've had enough, and then it all comes out because that's the reasoning behind the divorce.
And she filed for divorce here, yeah?
Yes.
She wanted out.
I believe so.
And, as people, like my mom, who was in an abusive relationship with my dad, when you're in it, people, they lose sight of reality and they don't feel like they could get out. They don't know where to go. They feel held hostage. And so that's why often when these things go to trial, when someone really starts to feel like, oh my gosh, I can get out of this, they start to tell what they went through.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible when you find these things out about our heroes. I remember when I first started hearing about the pun stuff. That was terrible. Yeah. And it's hard because, Liza, Pun's wife, Love Pun, talks about it, but also has talked about the abuse. And it's a lot to get through, especially for this, because I can only speak for me and us on this program. I can't fathom these acts. It's impossible for me to understand. I don't get it. A gun to the head of the woman you love? A gun to the head of anybody's crazy. Your man tells you he put a gun to someone's head in an argument. You're like, my man, what happened? To the woman you got in front of the world and said you'd love and take care of? I just can't understand it. But hopefully it's not true. But we might have to be real with ourselves, guys.
Well, and there's been, obviously Dre's going through the health issue. So, there's a lot, to unpack here, and I'm sure we're going to be hearing about it for weeks and months to come.